Surprise, surprise. Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We are here, and y'all know what today is. It is a super scary Saturday sleepover today. And as usual, but not really, we have Oreo Jr. He's a little shark, got his little scary teeth on today. We don't have Scott today. We have myself, we have you guys, and we got this story, honey. I think we were done with the last book. So I think we're about to start a new one. Well, I don't think, I mean, we actually are. So anyway, so today we're going to start this scary book, Still More Tales for the Midnight Hour. Today's title is going to be Cemetery Road. We're going to take Oreo Jr., throw him back there, honey, with his little friends, and we are going to get started. Are you guys ready? Let's get it. Susan looked up at the sign on the corner of her new street, Cemetery Road. Girl, right there, y'all need to move. At the end of the block, she could see the cemetery, row after row of tombstone behind a high iron gate. Susan knew the view well by now. It was the same view she had from her bedroom window. Okay, girl. Ooh, honey. Okay, girl, that's what you look out your window and see every day. Just a month ago, she lived in a pretty house with a view of a park. Then her father had been transferred to this city. The only house they could afford was on Cemetery Road. Susan's friends had laughed when she gave them her new address. They thought she was joking. Hey, aren't you the new girl? A voice called out from behind her. Susan turned around to see two boys and one girl riding a bicycle. She recognized them from school. They were in some of the same classes with her. Well, at least girl is looking up, girl. You got some friends over there, child. Susan nodded her head to answer to their question and kept walking. Susan felt a flush creep into her cheeks. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I missed the line. Sorry, y'all. It ain't even that big of a book, but I'm missing lines. Anyway, um, she shook her head in answer to their question and kept walking. What's it like living on Cemetery Road? One of the boys asked. Pretty spooky. Susan felt a flush creep into her cheeks. Not at all, she said. I'm not one bit afraid of living here. The girls and boys kept riding their bikes beside Susan as she walked quickly towards her house. I guess you haven't heard the stories about that cemetery, girl. I'll be like, and no, you ain't gonna tell me. You are not gonna tell me the damn story about this damn cemetery. Anyway, the girl said, it's haunted by a black cat. I feel like that's not that bad. Sure, Susan said. Do you expect me to believe that? It's true, the other boy said. There's a big tomb in the middle of the graveyard. It has the statue of a black cat on top of it. What's so scary about that? Susan asked. The cat comes alive at night, the girl whispered, and haunts the cemetery. I feel like I need to make a whisper thing. And haunts the cemetery. I don't believe in things like ghosts, Susan said. I dare you to visit the black cat at night, one of the boys said. Sir, I would have told this little boy, look, little boy, I go to bed at 9 o'clock. And like my great grandmama used to say, ain't nothing open that late but legs, baby. I'm not going at night. I'm going to bed. I'm watching the back of my eyelids. I'm not going to no cemetery. Black cat or not, baby. I'm going to bed. Okay? That's what I would have said. That's just me though. Susan glared at them. I wouldn't be afraid to do that. Dare you to take off his collar, the girl said. It has a leather collar around his neck, just like a real cat. Y'all see, I'm a cat today. I'm a cat girl, so I can be part of this. Yes. Okay, anyway. I got excited. Okay, anyway. Bring that collar to school tomorrow, the other boy said, and you'll prove how brave you are. Dare you, the girl taunted. It's a dare, Susan said. Girl, just go to bed, ma'am. Don't go playing in the cemetery, girl. And then we in this book. I just feel like this is just not the best idea. Ugh. This is how these things start and end, honey. She ran away from their mocking faces towards her house. She would show them that she wasn't afraid. But the thought of going into the graveyard at night made her shudder. And that's why your little ass needs to just go to bed, ma'am. She had to get the collar this afternoon, but it got too dark out. Susan's house was the second from the end of the road that led into the cemetery. A rickety old house that no one lived in sat right next to the graveyard. Girl, no. You don't know if homeless people, girl, you don't know who living up in that house. You don't know what's going on in that house. You don't know if it's a trap house. Girl, you don't know. Just stay in bed, ma'am. I would be staying in bed. You ain't got nothing to prove to these people. Are they gonna pay you? Are you gonna get paid to go out there at night and sacrifice yourself? Oh, honey. She had to get the wait. Susan pushed open the door to her house and went inside and threw her books onto the bench in the hallway. Before she could run up to her room to change, her mother rushed into the hallway. She told Susan that they had a meeting at her father's office and then were going to dinner. Susan tried to protest, but it did her no good. 10 minutes later, she was driving downtown with her mother, worrying about when she would go to the cemetery. Girl, I would have told them I fell asleep and didn't get up, and I would have got it the next day. Because, girl, what are you getting for this? What are you getting for doing all this foolishness? They didn't come home until 10 o'clock that night. Susan ran up to her room, put on her pajamas, and nervously stared out the window. The tombstones in the graveyard were bathed in the eerie light of the moon. She wondered how she could find the black cat there. Finally, her mother came in to say goodnight. Susan laid on her bed, waiting for the house to fall silent. When at last everything was quiet, she looked at the clock. It was 11:38. Girl, would no. I wouldn't care who I had a dare with. Like, girl, what are they gonna do if you don't bring this little collar back, child? Okay, I would have told him I fell asleep and I'll do it tomorrow, child. Susan slipped out of her pajamas and into a t-shirt and jeans. Outside her screen window, the September night was still warm. She picked up the flashlight she used for camping trips and quietly stole down the stairs and out of the house. Susan crept through the darkness past the rickety old house next to the graveyard and then through the arch entrance to the cemetery. Sounds like a bad idea to me. She was afraid to use her flashlight in case somebody in a nearby house saw her. The full moon shed enough light on the white gravel path for her to find her way in the dark. Suddenly, the stillness in the graveyard was broken by a weird call of a night bird. Susan froze in her steps. Until now, she had not been afraid, but the call reminded her that other things were out there in the night, watching her. Girl, yeah. I would have had my little binoculars. Like, yes, honey. Like, yes. Huh? What's that? I wouldn't have had no binoculars because I would have been in the bed, honey, watching the back of my eyelids. Because this is ridiculous. She switched on her flashlight and swung it around in a wide circle. The beam lit up the cold, white marble tombstones around her. Susan kept walking towards the middle of the cemetery, where the black cat was to be found. The gravel path sloped upward at a slight angle, and soon she found herself standing on a small hill. From the streetlights around the edge of the cemetery, she could tell she was near the center. Susan shone the beam of flashlight unto the nearby tombstone. The face of an angel stared back out of the darkness, making her catch her breath in fear. That's how I feel like that one. Ooh, girl. Then she saw it. The black cat that was like a dark shadow in the night, crouching on top of a huge white marble tomb. She made her way on trembling legs over to the statue. The night bird shrieked again, sending a chill through her body. Ooh, girl. She stood underneath the cat and shone her light on it. The animal was made of smooth black marble, except for his eyes, which were of shining green stone. And around his neck, just as the girl had said, was a leather collar. Now, child, somebody did put that leather collar on there. You need to leave that. I wouldn't be touching that. You don't know who it belonged to. You don't know who put it there. You don't know why they put it there. Girl, leave it alone and go home and go to bed because you got school tomorrow. Susan climbed onto a step of the white base and read the inscription etched into the marble: Disturb not the dead. For a second, she wanted to turn and run away as fast as she could. That's a good idea, ma'am, from the tomb and its warning. But there, only inches from her hand, was the collar she had come to get. She set down her flashlight beside the cat and reached both hands around its marble neck and unfastened the collar. She whispered grateful thanks to his buckle, as his buckle came easily undone. But at that very moment, the bell at the nearby church began to strike the midnight hour. Uh-oh, girl. There it is, girl. We done broke the fourth wall, child. It frightened Susan so that she almost dropped the collar. At the fourth stroke of the bell, Susan picked up her flashlight and shone it unto the cat's face. To her horror, the green eyes gleamed back at her like a real cat's. At the eighth stroke of the bell, Susan climbed down from the tombstone and heard a wicked hiss come from the statue. Girl, I would have left. I would have been done. I would have been done. I would have been gone. I would have been like, you know what? It's over. It's done here. You can have your collar back. I'm sorry I disturbed the dead. Go back to sleep. Hush, little baby. Don't you cry. And I would have been out of there. On the 12th stroke of the bell, Susan ran down the gravel path of the graveyard, her heart in her throat and her mind in a frenzy of fear. The light from the flashlight wavered on the path in front of her as Susan ran away from the black cat. She tried to tell herself that she had imagined the cat's hiss, but then from behind her, she heard a soft thud of animal paws on the gravel path. See, girl, that cat probably got rice. And a long, angry hiss sounded through the night air. Susan turned around and saw eyes follow and saw, oh, wait, turned around and saw what she feared. Uh-oh, girl. Two big green eyes were following her in the darkness. You better hurry up and get home and get in that bed. Finally, Susan reached the entrance of the cemetery. She could see her house ahead. It was only yards away now. She ran faster and faster until she reached the front door. With trembling hands, she twisted open the knob and ran inside. Girl, you gonna wake your parents up. See, this is why we shouldn't be doing stuff at midnight and doing all this foolishness. This is why we don't do it. She shut the door behind her, double locked it, and then ran up the stairs, panting with fear. She slipped into her bedroom and shut the door. From outside her screen window, she could hear a neighbor's dog howling weirdly in the night. Susan looked down at her trembling hands and saw the leather collar. Quickly, she went to her dresser, opened the top drawer, and hid the collar inside. Then she put on her pajamas and laid down between the sheets, trembling with exhaustion and fear. You know how she wouldn't have been exhausted if she had been her butt to sleep the whole damn time. Period. Just period. Susan stared out her window at the ghostly shapes of tombstones in the weird moonlight. She listened to the dog's weird howls, and finally, after a long time, she fell into a fitful sleep. Susan woke with a start. She was like, oh. She had been having a terrible nightmare. In the dream, a black cat had been sitting on her chest, hissing down at her. Susan opened her eyes and stared into the darkness of her room. Then she remembered the collar. She switched on her lamp and ran to the dresser. Quickly, she pulled out the top drawer. The collar was gone. Surprise, surprise. Girl, you know that cat came and got his stuff back. Susan saw the deep claw marks of a cat on top of the dresser. Girl, you sure it wasn't none of our cats? Because our cats be scratching up everything. She whirled around and saw the big ragged hole torn in her window screen. And there, on the windowsill outside, she saw the black cat staring back at her with glowing green eyes. Yes, honey. Oh, that was scary. Oh, I'm so scared right now. And they lived happily ever after. So that concludes our story. Like, that's the end. And you know how we end things around here. What did you guys learn, if you learned anything? What I learned today is, honey, don't ain't nothing open that late but legs, honey. If you are out at night, honey, expect anything. Cats, weird dogs howling, birds are squawking. Expect anything, child. Random weird people coming in your face talking about, can I get your number? Random things happen at night because ain't nothing open that late but legs. So if somebody dares you, don't and you don't want to do it, don't do it. Okay, don't do it, especially if it's at night. Just go to bed. Just go to bed and just tell them, girl, I ain't got time for that. I need my beauty rest. Okay. You know what you're going to get tomorrow? A beautiful face, a refreshed, beautiful face. So that's all I got. Um, so we're gonna end this live here, and I might come back. I think I need to do Hitchhiker's Guide. I don't know. I got homework to do too, so I don't know. So anyway, we're gonna end this live. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed our time together. We appreciate you coming here with us. And from wherever we are to wherever you guys are, peace, love, happiness. Skidamarinky dinky dink, and we'll see you later. Maybe tonight even, unless it's too late, because then ain't nothing open that leg the legs.